Hey guys, what's up? It's LeBas here. First of all, I just want to say happy fall. I don't know about you, but this is my favorite time of the year. I always get super happy because all the colors and it's just perfect outside. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I've been up to in my little sketchbook. I don't even really want to call it a sketchbook because it's more of an idea journal, if you will. So I've been working on that like a little busy beaver. I haven't done the one from last week, but other than that, I have been keeping up with it and I want to share with you guys what has been going on in there. So here it is, my baby, this is where we left off. You guys seen this one already. Don't worry, I will give you guys some close-up shots because the lighting is probably washing this out very badly, but we left off on this week, which was an amazing week. I got to go and see a Bharatanatyam that I vlogged. If you want to see it, I will leave a link for you. Also, I mentioned in my last video that I was doing a lot of thinking for my philosophy of science class, which is a theme you're going to continue to see. So this is the next page that I got going on here. And there's a lot to cover. So the first thing that I just want to mention is, yes, does this look like I was having a happy, fun, sunshine week? No, I don't think so. I just was in a very contemplative state, okay? And I will explain to you why. So at the beginning of my philosophy of science course, the teacher made a distinction between 3 different modes of thinking, and he asked us to think about where we fell into, which category we fell into. So from a materialist standpoint, you believe that the world is just as it is. There is no spiritual world or anything like that. It's the here and now. And I really like this way of thinking. The next category would be dualism, where most religions fall into, and then you have on the complete opposite spectrum this spiritual point of view where you don't think anything really exists, everything is God in a sense, and that everything is one. And okay, I'm stuck on these 2 opposite poles because the 2 opposing views really are so succulent to me. I can't say that I fit into the materialistic point of view though, because I clearly, every time I'm working on something creative, I feel that there's something else out there. That doesn't even make sense, I know. And I was going through a little bit of a mental crisis here, so I was trying to illustrate that in my little journal here. Okay, on to the next page. We have the song Human by Seb de Liza, which was stuck in my freaking head when I was walking to class every day. And you know what? That is an amazing song, but it's probably not the song that you want just playing in your head every physical movement you do. And if you're wondering, this is a picture of me. I know that's kind of a weird thing to put in my book there, but I really liked this image and I took it around the same time last year and it was super fun. We did a smoke bomb thing. Now I can't even emphasize enough how much fun I had with just all the mixed media elements that I was putting into this book. I took paper towels and I was ripping them up. I put that on top of the paper and it created this texture to it and I really love it so much. I'm one of those people that, you know, when it says do not touch and you go into a store, I can't follow that rule. I'm a very tactile person, okay? And so I really enjoyed adding that element to this. So let's move on to the next page. This right here was the week that was just sucking out my soul, okay? This was a really hard week for me. Let's start with the first page. On the first page, I don't know, I just had a lot of things in my personal life that were just weighing heavy on my soul, so that I wanted to just put out in pictorial form. This song by Linkin Park that is called With You was stuck in my head and I couldn't get it out. The sound of your voice painted on my memories. Even if you're not with me, I'm with you. I love that lyric so much. I was also getting a strong visual to this song when I was listening to it, and I saw a desert and a girl in a purple dress. And something about the sands of time kind of thing going on. That was a motif I kept seeing. Moving on to the next page. this is going to be a little bit more challenging for me to talk about. I had to come up with a performance based around our poetry book that we were looking at. I showed you guys in one of my last vlogs it's called Postcards. Now, the poem that stood out to me, mind you, they're all dark, they're all pretty graphic and sad. I gravitated towards a poem that talked about a girl who was found murdered. They didn't know who she was, and the poem was talking about how the community came together to give her a proper funeral. It moved me so much, and I decided to use that as the performance that I did for my class. The setup and everything that I wanted to apply to the performance came very quickly to me. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I volunteered to go the first week. To start off, I kicked everybody out and I set up the classroom. We have a tungsten light that it's in the perfect center of the classroom. I set that up, I put a table down, and I covered it with black fabric, and I laid on the table. I had a black dress on. I created a funeral scene, so I had music that was playing underneath the table. My friend who's in the class, Sean, was really great and he helped me out a lot. He ushered everybody in and really got people to feel as if they were in a funeral setting. So when they came in, they received a church pamphlet, which I collaged on here. That's why it says Praise Song for a Dead Girl, which was the name of the poem. So here it is. This is what it looked like. And everybody had to share with a partner, which was part of the performance. I wanted people to experience this with another person. There was something special I felt about doing that. I also didn't have enough paper in my printer, which was another reason, but there was something better. But I was almost happy about that because I feel it made people have to share it together and read it together, which I'll get into in a second. So I started the performance off where everybody was circled around the table where I was at. I had my eyes closed, I wasn't moving. I started with my line, which was, "You were 13, maybe 15, or 17 of mixed race." I'll put the actual poem in the description if you want to read it. And then after my lines, I had the class all together recite the rest of the poem, which was very convenient for me, I must say, as well, because I volunteered to go the first week and I didn't have a lot of time to rehearse this. I was very nervous that I wasn't going to be able to remember a lot of lines or that I was going to screw something up, so I gave the lines to my classmates to say. I'll share with you guys a clip of what my teacher said about the performance. It's really cool because the teacher gives us feedback that's through audio, but I hope it plays on my iPad. Wait, yes it does.
Heather, here are my comments on your performance in class last night. This was really an incredible piece. You controlled every aspect of the space, you know, from the moment we walked into the room, and then having us read those lines contributed to a sense of like trance or ritual, as if we were participating not only in a funeral but a kind of rarefied ritual.
So that's what my teacher had to say about it. It was weird, I have to admit, when everybody as a class started saying the lines to the poem. My intention with it was to make it seem as if you were in a church ceremony. I don't know if you guys grew up in church, but at least the church that I grew up in, they would say lines together. The pastor would say a line and then they'd say a chunk. I don't know. That's just the way that my church did things. I wasn't expecting it to be ritualistic like that, which my teacher talked about, but it did have that quality. Now, I had my eyes closed the entire time and there's a blinding light in my face. I'm just listening to my classmates recite the poem. Yeah, it did have an eerie quality to it, I have to say. Now, after I was done to close my performance, what I did was I had my friend Sean in the class put a black blanket over me, or sheet, whatever, and then I had each one of my classmates, well, they didn't have to do this, I didn't even have enough roses to do this, but I had dead roses that were in my last video actually on the corner, never mind, but they could take a rose and place it on top of me, which, yeah. So that was my performance. Do you hear that? That was crazy. So that was my performance. It was, thinking about that performance that whole week really, I don't know how to put it. was a really difficult thing to think about, and I got really invested in looking into this girl's life, and it was just a very sad thing to be thinking about. I'm happy that I chose this performance, and I hope that it honored her in some way. I really did want it to be respectful, and I thought a lot about if it were me, how I would want somebody to go about representing that. So that's what I was portraying on this. These are the lines to the poem that I ripped out and I put on there. This was the pamphlet, the rose motif, all of that going on. And I have this sun right here because this sun was going freaking crazy this week as well. I didn't mention this, but there was a thunderstorm in San Jose when it was really hot out. It was very strange. So that happened this week. I wanted to put thunderbolt lines in here, and it reminded me of the Tycho moon that from the Tycho album cover, so I chose to put that there. But other than that, you guys are filled in and caught up on the stuff that's been going on in my life. I am super busy this week, but I'm planning on vlogging my adventures with school because I have my work cut out for me. I have so many things going on, but I don't feel stressed right now. I was feeling really overwhelmed, but now I feel a lot more positive and in control of the situation. I don't feel just completely lost. So I'm gonna be vlogging that, and I'll put that up next week. So that's what I've been up to. I hope that you've been having a good time this week and you haven't been struggling with too much, but that's life. If you are going through something, you're gonna get out of it. You're gonna have a good day coming up soon. Don't worry. I know it could feel that you're in a tunnel of doom, but you know, there's some light outside of the tunnel, okay? Life is just a little roller coaster. I love you guys so much. Take care, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Mwah.